This is Daily Dose of Daryl. Thank you for coming. This is a three-part series. Part 1, Keys to Speaking. Part 2, Tips for Conversations. And then tomorrow, Part 3, Life in the Right Lane. Now, yesterday would have been Keys for Speaking. And of course, that was speak to an audience as an individual. Don't worry about what they say, good or bad. It's not exactly right. Stop thinking that you're changing lives. The people do the changing, and remain humble at all times. Listening is a very important part of that, and it's also important for today's tips for a conversation. You have to guard your time and make sure each person has a time for listening and talking. And then when you're listening, listen with your eyes also and pay attention to how they stand, their gestures, and so forth, because people speak with their body language also. And as you do that, you both have a time to speak and guard your language. Now, when you're talking, sometimes you aren't listening. And when the other people are talking, sometimes we're just listening to hear a pause so we can talk, and we're not really listening. We need to learn to focus on their words. It's like a particular meal, like a plate of food. You can look at it from any different angle, the same plate of food, and it looks quite different, same plate of food. And so it's true when people are talking. We may be thinking about what we want to say next and not really listening to what they're saying. Our mind is not on receiving and understanding. So we need to remember to begin to say it back. What I hear you saying is, and give them a chance to do it. Maybe they're talking about exercise and you're thinking equipment, but they're talking about something totally different. So that's a really key right there. Now, it may cause us to think of something similar in our life. And we might be wanting to share what we've done. Maybe they're talking about swimming and we want to tell something about ours, thinking it would help them. But it's just like that plate of food. Their thing is different. And one thing that we can do, another tip is, it may be that we have something that would be beneficial to them, but we want to say something like, remind me later to share something similar in my life, but I want to focus on what you are saying now and what your experience is. And this way, they don't feel like we're trying to one-up them or something. Like when you go to a fire call and you see the remains of an accident, somebody else sees it differently. And if we aren't paying attention to each other and get all the different points of view, you won't know how to really size it up. And so those are some tips today for our conversation, no matter what area of life you're in. When you're talking with another person, having a one-on-one conversation, remember to each have time to cover the many topics that they want to, but let each one do it, talking and listening, guarding the time. And sometimes just practice focusing on their words, and then learn that when your mind starts thinking of other things, just say it back to them and say it back, what I hear you saying is. And then when you think of something else that is on your mind that might be similar, postpone that and say, I have something very similar to that, but I really like to hear what you're saying right now. Remind me later to tell you about it. These are good tips when you're having a conversation, because we all fall victim to the dangers if we don't follow these tips and not really listening to people. So there you have it for part 2, tips for conversations. God bless you, and get out there and put it into action. This is Daily Dose of Daryl. Thanks for coming. Part 2, Tips for Conversations. Give each person adequate time for talking and listening. Listen to what they are saying and stop thinking about what you want to say next. Hold your similar experiences until later and focus on their experience. I am Daryl R. Peebles, an ordained minister trained in art in the fire service and retired from the local church after 48 years. I'm now digitally recording presentations made just for you. These celebrations are pandemic safe, personalized, portable, permanent, price saving, powerful, private, positive, and professional. Ha ha ha! Call me at 336-516-3793. Email me at darylpeebles at gmail. Go to the website at darylpeebles.com. Send a letter to Box 953 in Graham. Subscribe to this channel. Share it with others. Come back every day for something new and different. But get out there now and have a great day. Make it a great day. It's the only one you have. And remember to follow these tips for conversations with others, and that'll open the door to God's blessings for you. Be filled with the power available to you now. A powerful living. God bless you.